Hello, my name is Omar Abasad. It is 3:40 p.m., October 15, 2020. So you caught me in the middle of taking my blood pressure readings. So I'm just going to take that to start with. And here we go. My back and my chest are being hit constantly. And I have an irregular heartbeat notification. So last night, I posted, I woke up around 12 o'clock and I posted a bunch of videos. And that's because I was scanned very, very powerfully. I scanned with a very powerful beam. So I'm going to show you the oximeter that I bought yesterday. I am going to show you the equivalent of irregular heartbeat notification on this and what it looks like in the oximeter. So, okay, I'm not sure I'm going to do this. Let me try it this way. Yeah. Okay. There. Oh, it blanked out there. And see how the spikes are irregular? See the spikes? You even got a blanked out. It blanked out a few seconds there. It's possible that the heart stopped. There. You have a straight line, a lot of solids. So that's what irregular heartbeat looks like. See at the bottom? Very, very low. So the power is turned up. My chest. See the heartbeat? It's up to 100. And notice the PI number. It's all over the place as well. So the power is turned down suddenly. So I'm going to, this is attempted murder, like I said, right? I'm gonna take my pressure one more time. I'm gonna take my pressure one more time. Notice the graph at the bottom, how irregular it is. So the names, Rick Ronti, have the account. So went back down to normal. So 92 is the pulse on here. And this is what it is on the blood pressure monitor. So it went down to 92, 118 to 90, over 92. So the lower number is higher. So the pressure between pulses are higher and the top number dropped. I'm not sure how to interpret that. One possibility is the problem. So it went from 143 over 62 with a pulse rate of 90, and my thighs are being hit right now. So this is attempted murder, as I said before. Yesterday or last night, early this morning, because it was about 12 o'clock, my heart did stop. I did tell the doctor about this. I did wear a heart monitor, a Holter monitor, for 3 days. The doctor said nothing unusual. I actually argued with him. I actually bought the blood pressure monitor, and I talked to him about the results. And he said that there's no need for me to monitor my blood pressure on a regular basis. It's all fine and it's all normal. Keep in mind that I'm a target, and everybody knows that I am a target, because as a target, everybody is infiltrated around me. Everybody, including doctors, of course. So he knew that I was a target. He knew that I was being played with. I was being experimented with. He knew I was being logged on. So he was covering. Again, not all doctors do this, but beware. Doctors lie. They lie through omission. They lie through misleading you. They lie by not telling you, omission, by not telling you what they know. So the person in the loading dock is logged on because he's telling me he's logged on. He's outside talking to the people who uses the loading dock, who comes in business hours, doing delivery and garbage, whatever. And he talks to these people. And keep in mind, this is a community targeting program. I'm a target, everybody knows. So he talks to every single person about what he does. 12 o'clock, don't move. I kissed that. I chose her. Dropping hints about who he is, what he's doing. I'm a target, mentally retarded. He shouts at me. He shouts mental retard as I walk by when he crosses my path in the compound, which is very often. Shows up around me very often, imprinting. So I heard from somebody else, another conversation, that he is his father's seed. His father chose him. He has some new friends for me. So this is a 20 whatever, couldn't be 25. I'm judging. Male, white male, who swears a lot. His father swears a lot, and probably didn't finish high school, and isn't right in his head, and hangs around with girls, wears earrings on both ears, skinny, it talks erratically, sounds out of control most of the time. He wants to be a manager, quote unquote. He is customizing. He's testing, as managers do. He has a file about you. So this is the upside down world that we live in right now. White is black, black is white, right is wrong, wrong is right. This is where we are at right now in our society, globally, as COVID-19 is proving. And a whole lot of people are talking about this. This is a takeover agenda, a satanic takeover, where everything is subverted, everything is upside down, everything is opposite of what it should be. This is a way of suppressing you and putting you in a state of cognitive dissonance. That means that your mind is telling you that something should be one way, but in reality, or one version of reality, it's in another way. And people are saying that the opposite of what you think is right is the way it should be. So it's creating a state of doubt in your head. Your conscience is telling you that this is not right, something is wrong here. But everybody else is doing it, or a lot of people are doing it. So in your head, you think, well, if so many people are doing it, then it must be right. So it creates a state of constant doubt inside of you. So it puts you in a mental state of limbo. And when you are in that state, then you are malleable. You could be led by the nose. You could be told what to do and you will do it because you're not sure what is right anymore. You're not sure what is wrong anymore. Of course, that is easily fixed because you know what is right and wrong. Everybody does. There's a little voice inside of every single human being that tells you what's right or wrong. You know. And if you can't get to, and if you can't get to the place where you're hearing that little voice telling you, then start meditating. You will hear it. So instant drop, and this is a constant occurrence when I'm scanned. Constant. This finding is almost as constant as there's going to be a day tomorrow. It's that consistent. So I'm going to take it one more time. So the PI is 13, 12, 10. 11, 10.6, 10.2. The PI is all over the place. So the PI is the oxygen in the finger, in the insertion point. And the 96 is the oxygen saturation level in the blood generally. And the 83 is the pulse. So I got an error, so I'm going to do it again, the blood pressure. So I heard Rick, whoever that Rick is, I have no idea. There are many Ricks. I heard the name Deonarain, Deo Saran, I don't know. It sounds like a Caribbean name. So the PI now is 15.8, and I'm getting pulsed in the thighs. So the PI went down to 9.5. And that's another occurrence. The PI fluctuates as I get pulsed. And it doesn't matter where on my body I'm pulsed. And it's up again. 133 over 85. Because these signals are constant. See how high that number is, this number here? There. See how high that electricity is? And the RF is also increasing. It's going up to 15. So it's penetrating the body. These signals penetrating the body. So the electricity is hitting the heart muscle, and it's short circuiting the electrical current that's running through the heart and causing the pulse, a complete pulse, a sinus rhythm. It's interrupting it. So the heart will stop if the power is strong enough and it doesn't catch in the next cycle. Catch the rhythm in the next cycle, because the electrical signals are constantly pulsed through the heart, and if the signal doesn't run through the heart as it should and it's interrupted, the beat does not occur. So when the beat stops, the next pulse of electrical signal comes through and it catches. So that's a skip beat. However, if you don't catch that rhythm, if the heart doesn't catch that rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beats, then it stops. It stops beating. You skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beats. That essentially means that your heart stopped. And then you can go into arrhythmia. So you get that fluttery feeling in your heart, in your chest, which I do. Not very often, but when the power is turned up high, I do, especially at night. And they turn up the power while I'm sleeping. The idea is to kill you off as you sleep, basically. And there was somebody in the family, the brother's friend, related through marriage. He did die in his sleep. He was experiencing chest pains, didn't go to the doctor, and he went to bed one day and he never got up. He died in his sleep. So these things happen. And of course, he was, because my brother was a target, everybody around him was infiltrated. So this man was a perp, although he paraded around as a friend. He was actually an informant, a source. So he was himself tagged. All the sources, all the informants are themselves tagged automatically. So they just killed him off when the time was right, or he did something that somebody didn't like. They just killed him off. And this is what's happening, I suspect. This is what's happening with COVID-19. The older people in the old age homes, they're just dropping dead. And they're saying it's COVID-19. Well, is it COVID-19? If I were to drop dead here and I test positive, would it be COVID-19? So I got something on my screen here, excuse me. No, it wouldn't be COVID-19, as we all know. And I think that somebody has the contract to increase the numbers to push this communistic, technocratic system that we're entering into right now under COVID-19. COVID-19 is the banner that we are being pushed under, over the cliff. And it's blanked out there again. I'm not sure why it's blanking out. So I'm going to take my blood pressure one more time. And I'm being scanned as I'm talking. There. I'm hiccuping. And here is why. The hiccups are actually the pulse going through the body and spasming your esophagus. And the same thing happens in your stomach and your intestine. When you're hit on your stomach cramps. When you hit on your intestine in your belly, you in addition to getting gassy, you get cramps. Bladder, same idea. For women, same idea. When menstruating. If you're cramping and they hit you, then you cramp even worse. Even the cramps are even worse. So I'm getting stung on my foot right now. So it's time that we started talking openly about what is actually going on. There is no time to hide behind nice words and bureaucracy and diplomacy. This is not the time, because as you, the viewer, can actually see around you if you look carefully, well, not so carefully. You don't even have to look that carefully anymore. It's so in your face. Things are happening really, really fast. Your power is being taken away from you very, very quickly. Your personal power, the power to look after yourself, the power to make a living, the power to make decisions on your own. These things are being taken away from you by the government, quote unquote. We did not vote the governments into power to do this. COVID-19 should not be an excuse to change the very culture that we live in and the government, the type of government the country voted in. We voted on a democratic bill. COVID-19 should not be an excuse to change the system that we voted in. That is unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional to do that. It's unconstitutional to use a virus and a pandemic that's not really a pandemic, with a disease that is not a life and death disease, that is only affecting mostly the old and vulnerable, which every disease is going to affect. The most common disease, common cold, does affect the older and the vulnerable and the more diseased people. And any other disease will do the same. So this is not unique to COVID-19. We should not, it's not a life and death disease. The system should not be changed permanently under COVID-19. We are being taken advantage of. We are being taken to the cleaners. Our rights should not be taken away because there was a COVID-19 virus going around. Somebody is abusing this pandemic and using it to their advantage, or a group of people are. My obliques there, my back. And this is why my blood pressure is high, because I'm in pain. A lot of that blood pressure number is pain. So here is the last number. See, huge numbers, huge increases up and down. That's because of the scanning. Without physical activity, that's because of the scanning, which I showed you. So I showed you the source of the electricity that is penetrating my body, that is causing the fluctuations in the heart rate and the strength of the pulse. The signals are coming, and this is not from a modem. It's coming from somewhere around the building, from a transmitter. So I got another irregular heartbeats. So let's see what it looks like in the oximeter. And as I said, I'm still being pulsed, which is why I'm still getting irregular heartbeats. So let's see what it looks like. So I'm going to take this here and I'm going to show you what it looks like. See all those flat bars there? High, low. See the how high the spikes are? See how low the spikes are there? High spikes. Flat. There's a flat line for you. That's a bunch of missed beats. See how low the spikes are there? There, I flatlined there. Flat line for you. That's 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. There. And the oxygen level, the saturation went 93. It dropped. So let me just try taking this black background off. So the power is turned up. And like the comment outside the window said, any day now, any day. And you saw the saturation number went to 93 and the alarm went off. So right now it's 97, 98. So that's what an irregular heartbeat looks like. Irregular notification on the blood pressure monitor looks like. High, peaks, low peaks. And the heart rate went up to 89. So the pulse on here was 67. So that was 408. No, I'm sorry. 408 is the time right now. Don't have the time there. So 67 to 84 here. Okay, so I'm going to take my blood pressure one more time. I'm gonna take my blood pressure one more time. You see the spot checking of my blood pressure and my heart rate, it's not enough for me. It's just not enough. I was a little surprised when the heart doctor was almost angry that I was checking my blood pressure regularly. He said it was going to stress me out. I don't need to. It's checked when I go to him and when I go to the doctor. So it's checked once or twice, maximum 3-4 times a year, and that's enough. $126. over 91. Okay. Let's do the oximeter again. So the blood saturation rate is high, it's 98. But the spikes and the strength of the pulse is up and down. If you look at the bar pulsing up and down, it corresponds with the peaks at the bottom in the graph. So my liver, my right obliques around the right kidney area out here and the liver is tagged as I'm talking, and it hurts. And you can hear it here. So what you're seeing is the effects of these signals. Okay, so I'm going to show you the electrical currents again. See, and there's high RF readings as well. I'm just going to take this off. So look at this electrical number here. So this is what's causing the shorting of the electrical signals in the heart. High RF reading, it penetrates the body right into the heart muscle. So the recycle man from the company that works with the building, the first thing he said was heart attack. And he carried on a conversation with the person in the loading dock about giving somebody a heart attack. See, that's 2,000 plus. There. That's why the heart is shorting, and that's why the beats are so erratic, and I'm straight lining. 6 beats. There, see? Now, just so you can see the effects of those signals. Temperature, 36.5. On the other side, 36.3. $36.4, $36.4, the forehead, $36.4, $36.4, again, $36.5, and this is the side that is pulsing right now, $36.5. Keep in mind, my window is open and the heat's not on, so it's kind of cold here, $36.4. So the temperature is also changing. So I'm going to take my blood pressure one more time. So when I got that arrhythmia notification, the I'm gonna air it out because I'm moving my arm. The power was turned up. The power was turned up around this area here, around here, here, but mainly around the chest area and the back and the neck and between the shoulder blades at a very high setting, 2000 plus most likely. So I'm going to do it again. Just go on my oximeter. So the saturation is 97. The PI is all over the place, 6, 7. The pulse is 81 on here. And it's almost normal. So it's 123 over 88 and 78 pulse. And the pulse is changing. It's blanking out as well. I'm not sure if that's because I'm moving it. It's possible. But there is the reset. 79. And on this it was 78. So it's accurate. The oximeter is accurate. Saturation is high, 98, 96. Goes up to 98. I didn't see 100% yet. The highest I saw was 98. Okay. So that was given that I have a valve problem that would be livable without being pulsed this way. The pulsing puts me in a very, very high risk category of getting a heart attack. And I just demonstrated that. So every time I'm scanned, it's attempted murder. Every time I'm scanned, it's attempted murder. I also demonstrated straight lining when the heart misses 5 to 6 beats. See, there is without going into technical terms and my understanding of what I read, there is a circuitry in the heart, and there is a spot where generates a spot in which it generates this electrical current that goes through the heart. Now that spot keeps generating the signal at a certain frequency. If the signal is not picked up and travels through the heart in the right way, then the heart collapses. It does not pulse, it does not beat. And this is exactly what's happening. It's interrupting. These signals are being pulsed with high RF reading that's penetrating my body. And I could tell because the muscles are sore. So it's penetrating my body. It's penetrating it right into my heart and interrupting those signals. So I'll be doing I'll be doing these videos more often. And also the temperature of my body is fluctuating as well. So that's another indication that these signals are generating heat. My skin burns, which generates pain, which is part of that high blood pressure reading as well. Pain. It's a pain response reflecting in those numbers. So in our world right now, in which these agendas are being pushed through, and we are being bamboozled in every direction that we look, we have to be our own masters. We have to take control of our own lives. We have to take control of our health. We have to take control of our thinking. We have to take control of our emotions. We have to take control of our research, of our planning, and not be dictated to by anybody else. This is what living is all about. Living and growing. It's through exercising our personal power that we grow. Communism is just the opposite. And an even worst form of communism, if you can call it communism, is technocracy, which is complete enslavement, which of course takes away all your power, which is where we're headed with the technology that we have. So we are living in a world right now, and I just demonstrated how we are being bamboozled and how we are being forced to submit into the system that is coming. I am being forced at the point of death. It's literally the equivalent of having somebody hold a gun at your head and say, do as I say or else. And this is exactly what's happening. The gun, the electromagnetic gun, is being held to my heart, basically. And the message is, do as we tell you to do, or we're going to kill you. And believe me, they will. They will. Because if you aim the signals at your heart, and you aim the signals at any other part of your nervous system, simultaneously, instantly, you'll be dead. Instant. It's instant. And for those people who have out-of-body experiences, they probably would know, identify with anybody who would say that, I think I died before, when you can actually feel your consciousness gets elevated to the point where it leaves the body, because your nervous system is being stimulated at a frequency so high that your body cannot contain the frequency anymore. So it leaves the body. The consciousness leaves the body. And for people who has died and come back into the body, they'd probably know what I'm talking about. Because if your nervous system is stimulated to the point where it's higher than the body can withstand, and the body exists in a frequency range. Everything is frequencies, we know that. So the body exists in a certain frequency range. When the frequency drops out of that range, the body disintegrates. If the frequency increases out of that range, the body also disintegrates because it cannot withstand the frequency. But what you call life and what is making me talk, in other words, it's not my body, it's my consciousness. It's my mind, which is not my body. Whatever it is that's making me talk can't be contained in the body anymore. It exits the body. And this is what death, one form of death is, meaning one way to die. And a lot of people actually say things like, I think I died and I came back in my body. There's a lady called Anita Moorjani, and she had this experience where she left the body and she died. And she talked about being outside the body looking in. A lot of people actually have this experience, and it's very real if you consider that everything are frequencies. Well, this technology could do it to you. It can kill you and bring you back. And maybe that's part of the experiment. Maybe that's one of the experiments that these scientists are running. Talk to you another time.